All right, welcome back, everyone. Here we are with round number 6 against Eustass Captain Kidd. Once again, I just faced the half-breeds, so it was pretty fresh on the mind on how to play against Kidd, right? And then I believe they go ahead and go first. I don't remember if I won the dice roll or not, but I think going second is good in Kidd because then you get to play the rook and the Nami and whatnot. It's pretty value. I think he plays Oh, Beige. I was like, because I know some people were playing Bonnie. You know, it's pretty good. I do play Red Hawk, so I'm like, maybe I just, like, try to get the value out of Red Hawk. Just block and attack, but also remove a body. We go ahead and play that Ezo. Now we're going to see what we can get. Ideally, we want Ace or Flame Emperor, both really strong in this. Flame Emperor to out his blocker, and then the blocker Luffy. And then Ace just so he can swing and put pressure, 1 on the board, but 2 just on them. And it diminishes the value of blocker Luffy. And if they swung with him, it really just eats him. Go ahead and grab a Fosa. Again, grabbing those blockers super important in this matchup. Because if you go down to 1 life, you'd never want to be at 1. But if you do, you need 1 blocker to stop one of those hits so you can buy yourself another turn. So you go 3, probably smacks down a Nami. Nami also creates an insane amount of value, so as soon as you have the opportunity, you want to get rid of Nami. Because if not, it'll just run away with it. 5, I'm going to go ahead and take. It's always hesitant, of course, to take those, just because, again, like Kidd, once you get down to 0 or get down to 1, they just want to rush you down to 1. And then they just want to go 12-12. They won't put you at 1, use whatever board they have, pressure you, and then go 12-12. We go 5, lead. Yeah. And then we play the Atmos. And also, just trying to keep track of how many cards they have in hand, because it does get away from you. Because Kidd just somehow feels, because all the value creation, they're just like, oh, I have 1 billion cards in my hand. Hit 5. I was like, oh, heck yeah. Playing Atmos. So you go draw for turn and go 6. It was actually funny because he made a comment about Whitebeard because I played the Atmos, and I'm like, I do play their best card. I mean, it was so much stronger than like a 3-5 because 5 can go at 5, but he has to don up 1 to go at the 6. So like it costs resources to try to clear it. And he goes 5, and now I'm like, do I take this? But I'm gonna go ahead and take it because now he can just go like, and it looked like he's gonna go 7-7. Debating if I want to trigger. It might be like guard point, which will put me up to 6. And if that is the case, of course, it would help me out because in like my 2Ks, yeah, it's just gonna go 7. Because again, they just want to put you at 1, and once they put you at 1, they can just keep double swinging at your life. And then they really just start playing Kidd later. So it's like, well, I took the 5. Now to counter out of 2, I'm losing 2 cards when I could have just lost 1. It also feels silly, so I'm gonna take it. Mostly because, like, if he swings again, it's fine, but assuming, yeah. So he's going to spend 3. That's probably... Oh, yeah. He restands it. 7. So now I'm going to give him the 2. A Makino and an Atmos. Sure. He's got 5. I'm like, yes, I like that. Like, because I don't want Kidd to have 1 billion cards in hand. That's when he really just runs away from you. I'm at 6. I think I just go 5, 6, hopefully play Thatch. It's like just Dream Curve. Nope. I play a Marco and pop the Beji. And now I want to swing with the Atmos first just in case. Or no, I don't need to. There's no Gibson, but we're going to swing with the Atmos. We're going 7 at Usopp. Clear the board. And so now he's down to 3 cards, and I'm going to go 5 at him again. Because if I keep their board clear, then once they want to start playing Kid Leader, they can't establish board and play Kid Leader. And then if he goes down the 2, it puts me in a really strong position as well. And then boom, look at that. And we got an Ezo. We love to see that, especially knowing that I have the Fosa. We're going to go ahead and pass. Because now, like, he doesn't, that Usopp is not going to survive the next turn. And then it also kind of like, he's only got a few cards in hand. So it really limits his plays, which could also just put another Eustass straight at my face. Which isn't the worst play on their side. Because they go 9-9 and I can't counter out of either of them. I'm at 0, and then if I can't double blocker, they go 12-12, right? 5 at life. Yep, I use the leader ability, discard a Flame Emperor. Just because, like, they have 3 cards. What are the odds that they play a Luffy at this point, right? And I might also have 2. Also, I apologize for these taking forever. I'm going to try to knock the last of these out here and get them up. Five. So it looks like he might be playing a Luffy. Which, if he does, I still think I just play Rusher Ace if I have him. Just trying to figure out, do I discard? Like, it might even be like a Thatch. I might have had a Thatch. And it's like, is there an opportunity where I ever play him again? Probably not. Oh, a Sea Quake. The Sea Quake is a 1K. Maximizing, playing Luffy. And he's got a card to play, another Usopp, so it's slightly unfortunate. But of course we want to clear those. We probably have a Flame Emperor. If we have an Ace, we just smack down Ace minus the Luffy and then minus the Usopp, then put 2 at the Usopp. And then focus the rest on life because we should be at 8. 7. Oh, I just Flame Emperor. I can go 6 and then go 8 because he's got 1 card in hand. So I could go, 6. And I'm going to save that. Yeah, 6 at the Usopp. So if he has the card, he has to give it up, right? So we cleared that. So we've cleared 2. And then going to go 6 at lead just to fish 1 card. And so they either have to take it, and then now I'm going to put them at 1, right? Like, unless their hand is 2 2Ks. And I could go just 9. Decent-sized hand. We're going to go 8, though. No trigger. And no trigger. So now they're at 1. Now the pressure's on them, but they got a slight infusion. I've got 1 Don active, likely for an event. And then they just have that Usopp, which I can, again, just clear next turn. Probably don't have an Ace, I'm assuming, had I not played it. But we cleared 2 characters off of board, which really puts him down. But, again, he can just go 11-11, because I think he should be at 9. So he could go 11-11. He could go 5-11-11. It's going to go 7 with Usopp. And then, of course, if I take it, look, he's mapping it out. So then it's like 7, 9, 9. So it's just cheaper for me to counter out the 7, obviously. And I could just guard point here if I have one. Really, just because, again, just knowing that, like, it just makes sense for him to go 9-9. But maybe I want him to go 9-9 and just try to end him next turn, right? So if he completely taps out, Yeah, going 8. Super interesting choice. Probably based off of me taking it. I might even have a radical beam. That would be rad. Because then I perfectly counter out of it. That might be a red. Oh, guard point and a 1K. Four. Yeah, it's like, what do you do? Does he just pass? Does he have 2 punk Gibsons? Maybe. Yep. Appreciate how he shows what he's trashing. 8 at life, 1 Dawn remaining. What would you... Oh, he's going to play a Beji. And I discarded the Seaquake, which really had me slightly like, that wasn't value. As soon as he did that. Because, like, I just go ahead and take it, right? Because now I, like, have to attempt for game. And he's got 2 cards in hand. So, like, I can do 7s, right? Like... But I'm pretty sure I just have to go for game here, because if not, it's like 12-12, unless I have 2 blockers and can clear his board, right? If I have 2 blockers and can clear his board, I'm okay. But yeah, he's dropping that Beji. But each one of mine swings 7 easily. Maybe he has 3 cards. He might have 3. Which means I could go like 9. I'm going to start off 7. And it might even be at Usopp. Really just trying to think off. Really just trying to think. Because, like, it's super important. Like, he can't Gibson me, so it's like, what really hurts, right? A Gibson out of life would hurt. But, of course, if he gives me 2 cards for this out of his hand, it makes it much easier. Because if I go 6, he gives me 2 cards. Then I go 7. 5 on the Izo, that's 6 Dawn total. 1 on the Atmos, and then that goes 7. And then... I have 3 more for the leader, plus any events I have. Really just thinking through it all, because it's like, okay, like I have to win this turn, or I have to be able to block up and clear his board, right? And then he has to have no Izo, right? Like if I play 2 blockers and then he Izos me, I lose. Assuming I don't have enough counters, so I'm really just trying to make sure the math's right. Because like I could go 9-9-9. And that would be fairly strong. I might even have a Makino and can do a little push for 5. Then it's like, do I want to fish a 6? Do I have a Flame Emperor in hand? And can pop that? There might be. I already played the 1 of Marco, obviously, so no option to Marco. I discarded my Seaquake. 6 at leader. A dangerous move, knowing that I need to connect 2. Yeah, he's going to give me a 2K. I might have rushers. I might have 2 rushers. I'm so intrigued right now. Because, like, he didn't give me the blocker, right? Like, what would I want to do here? But now he's got 2 cards. So, like, 7 is really strong. 9, of course, I could go 9, force the block. Possibly Makino. Do I have 2 rushers and I'm thinking going 6, 6, 6, 6, 5? Maybe. This is mad crazy. 6 at the leader again. Do you have another 2K? Boom. Easy. It's exactly what we want to see too. He's got 1 card left in hand. What is this? What? What could I have, right? Do I go 5 with the Izo? 5 at Usopp. Okay. So now, what do I do? What would I do here? What would you do here? Do I win this turn? Do I just like triple block her up like a madman? Do I have it? I know I have one Fosa. But even if I had like one Luffy, like what does that do for me, right? Five at the Usopp. It's gonna block with beige. Pay 2. Oh, I think I have Radical Beam in my hand. And so it's like he can do 5, 12, 12, but like I have 2 blockers. I'm double D'd up. And then I went on the next turn. I think I remember this because I was like, heck yeah. I think my last life was that Marco. And then he ditched the Ezo. So, like, I ripped his whole hand, and I think that was the plan, so that way I can make sure he has to top deck Ezo to possibly win. Then he grabs 3 Dawn, and I'm like, is it Ezo? Then, of course, like, all three of his attacks have to go through, right? Like, I block 2, 1 has to go through. So if I counter out of 1, it's, like, over. And it's like, do I block one of these? Can I counter out of 12 is the first question, right? So that way if they play an Ezo, am I just like done for? And that's, of course, did they top deck Ezo? That is the question. That was the gamble, too. That was the gamble that I took going into this turn. But double blocker, no hand against Eustass, so strong. Fosa, kinda, it's okay, but like you want to see at least an Ezo in the trash, and you might swing 6s. I swung 6s before in the last game to try to get that Ezo out of hand, just so I like don't lose, because one, you either take a life and that puts me in a position to win, or you have to give up the Ezo, right? Like, just trying to check his trash, see what he could, like, you know, is there more than one Ezo? What are the odds he has an Ezo is the question right now. 1 Ezo. Like, what does Ezo rest? 4 cost or less. So it can rest the Marco, right? That's really what I was wondering. Does he, does he have an Ezo? Can it rest my characters? So he might sink my battleship. Does that have 4 cards in hand, right? And he's got 8, so he, like, it's like, what did you top deck? You go ahead and just radical beam it. We'll risk it. And it's like, okay, well, you have to pay 3, so then you can go 9. Can I counter out of like a 9? Yeah. He has 10. Obviously, Fosa first. Block. And he just, he goes through the whole swing. I'll go ahead. Marco. Can I reborn Marco? And ditch Nisa. We just draw. He's got no cards in hand. I think I swing with the Marco first. But yeah, it's like, oh. Oh, 5. Just with the lead, right? And then you just go all in, right? Absolutely incredible game. Yeah, I mean, he just didn't get no Brooks. Not an early Nami. Super fortunate on my side. But yeah, we just we keep moving. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for future One Piece content. If you just do me a favor, subscribe. It would help me out a ton. I really appreciate it. Thank you.